So one of the questions, that I get, and sometimes I even ask myself when I'm out in the mountains, it's just about how do you keep going when everything that your body and your mind is telling you to quit? What does it take to get yourself beyond where you thought you could go? And ultimately for me is what I've learned through, years of athletics, racing all over the world in some of the worst and harshest conditions on the planet. It's really this thing that I call mind domination. And because there are so many times that my body and my head is telling me to quit. And what you have to do is what I've found is a trick to do is almost like tricking your own brain, tricking yourself, is as soon as those thoughts come into my head, I recognize them. And instead of acting on them, I go, no, that is not how this is going to work. Because I know that in the end, if I quit, if I walk away, let's put this into a hunting scenario where we all sit on the couch at home or at the kitchen table, looking at maps, laying out these big plans, talking with our buddies. Hey, we're going to do this, this, and this. And then, you put all these plans together. You spend your hard-earned money. You then go out into the field. You're taking away time from your family. And then all of a sudden, what happens? It starts to rain. It starts to snow. The wind picks up. You can't see anymore. And now what starts to creep into your head? It's not fun anymore. It's not as much fun as it was at the kitchen table over rums with your buddies or over beers or whatever it is, because that's where this stuff starts in a lot of ways. Not for everybody, but in a lot of ways. We sit down with our friends, make plans, and then we start to work toward the execution of those plans, and then something blocks our way. And then we have to make a decision. And the decision is either sit in a tent where it's warm and you can drink more rum or drink beers with your buddies and not accomplish the goal that you actually set out to do, which is hunt. So these are things that happen over the course of a hunt that we have to control. And it's all that it takes sometimes is just one chink in the armor for the whole house of cards to come down. And that's as much as somebody saying, oof, doesn't look good out there. Open up the tent flap and go, ooh, doesn't look good out there. And then it creeps into your head like, oh, well, it's nice and warm in here, so why would we do that? There's a reason why we are there, and it's to hunt. And if you're there to party with the boys or it's an escape or whatever, that's fine. But if that is what you're there for, is to actually hunt and to work toward that goal and to feel fulfilled when you achieve that goal, or even if you don't achieve it, but you work hard toward it, that's where the gold is in my world. So what I consider this, it's called mind domination, because you have to dominate those negative thoughts and get them out of your head. Or if they do come into your head, recognize it right away and then go, no, you're not going to win because I have a goal. And you know what? That goal right now is going to suck. In order to achieve it, I have to go out into the storm. I've got to go, set up another tarp. I've got to go, stay out in it longer. I've got to suffer. And that's what we don't like to do. Nowadays, we don't like to suffer. And I admit it. There's lots of times when I don't want to suffer just for the sake of suffering. But here's a perfect example is last week, we were out bison hunting. It's minus 30, 30 degrees Celsius below zero. And what we're doing is we're sleeping in a two-man tent. You wake up in the morning There's frost all over the tent. You roll over, frost is falling in your face, inside the sleeping bag, but the sleeping bag is the warm, it's your cocoon, it's the nicest place to be. And you do not want to pull that zipper down because you know the rush of cold air is coming in and you're gonna have to move. But guess what? We're there for one reason. And that reason is to have a hunt, to try to be successful at that hunt, and to enjoy it. And I can tell you that I am not enjoying it if I'm not dominating my own mind and getting out of bed when I know that I have to in order to get out there and hunt for the day. Because there's nothing easier than sitting in that sleeping bag and just being nice and comfortable and warm. The hard part is making that one zip to open up that sleeping bag so that rush of air comes in and now you've got no choice. But that's mental domination. And I go through it every hunt. I go through it, whenever I've been racing around the world, multi-day races where you just want to quit. It just sucks and you want to quit and everything is telling you to quit. And nobody's going to blame you if you quit except for you. I am the one that's going to blame me if I quit. I'm the one that's going to blame me if I don't unzip that sleeping bag. I'm the one that's going to blame me if I don't get up in the morning and get a workout in before I start the day with my family and then on to work. I'm the one that's to blame, and I'm going to blame me. And you need to hold yourself accountable and dominate those negative thoughts that come in your mind. When you can do that, you will win every day. And break it down, make no mistake, the global win starts with one step, and it starts day to day to day. Win today, then look at tomorrow. Win tomorrow, then look at the next day. Have a big goal, work every day toward that goal, whether it's your first Dall sheep, whether it's hunting a buffalo in Africa, whether it's getting a job. Mental domination, period. Day to day, win the hour, win the day, win the week, win the year, and before you know it, the life you want will just materialize, and you'll be living every day with passion, and you'll be living it to the best and the fullest of your ability. Start with today.